Now at 5, a major shakeup in the race for governor. Former New Britain Mayor Erin Stewart has suspended her campaign for the Republican nomination. Stewart has been in the spotlight for several days amid questions about her use of government funds for personal purchases. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Annette Montgomery. Earlier today, the city released a report from an independent investigator that shows Stewart spent more than $200,000 using a city purchasing card.
Now, Stewart says she takes the allegations seriously and she is ending her run for governor so she can address them. And we have team coverage tonight, starting with Fox 61's Alicia Hercules, who is live in New Britain now with more on Stewart's announcement and reaction from City Hall. Alicia.
Brent, Stewart's team released a detailed statement about her decision to drop out. Stewart says the allegations made by New Britain City Hall have taken over the race and have diverted attention away from her mission. The current New Britain Mayor, Bobby Sanchez, says this decision was in her best interest.
I think it was the right decision and that she should look for a lawyer.
Sanchez says investigators made shocking discoveries when they reviewed Stewart's spending reports from her time as mayor.
It's just a breach of public trust. And in this case, the taxes were used for things that should not have been used. And that's a problem.
The city hired a third-party firm to look into Stewart's purchase records between 2016 and 2025. Those records show Stewart bought clothes, children's toys, and groceries from major retailers and spent money on a membership at the Hartford Club. Stewart addressed the allegations in her statement. Part of it reads, "Yesterday I requested copies of the relevant documents and I will be reviewing them carefully. I will take accountability for any mistakes and I intend to make full and complete restitution to the city of New Britain, my home, for anything that I owe." In response to Stewart's announcement, House Republican Speaker Vincent Candelora said in a statement, "Erin has made the right decision for herself and for Connecticut. Public service demands the highest standards of integrity, and when a public official or candidate fails to meet them, there is really only one appropriate path forward." Stewart says she gives her full support to Senator Ryan Fazio and his bid for governor. She wants all of her supporters to back him going forward. Live in New Britain, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
All right, Alicia, thank you. Now, as we said, Stewart's announcement happened just hours after New Britain officials released the results of an investigation into her alleged fraudulent spending.
And Fox 61's Erin Coogan is in studio with a breakdown of those findings.
Well, take a look. This is the sprawling 74-page report commissioned by the city of New Britain, detailing the more than $200,000 worth of charges made to Stewart's assigned city credit card over a near decade-long period. The report goes on to reveal nearly 60% of those charges were for personal items, including clothing, gifts, and subscription services. According to investigators with the Crombie Law Group, since acquiring the city credit card back in 2016, Stewart spent more than $47,000 on Amazon. Photos included in the report depict items like maternity clothing, microphones, and baby clothes, all purchased on the business card and shipped directly to her home. About half of those Amazon purchases were made without supporting documentation required when utilizing municipal funds. Stewart's personal Costco and Instacart memberships are also alleged to have been paid for with city funds, alongside another $36,000 worth of merchandise. Investigators say grocery purchases often aligned with Stewart's personal events and family celebrations, including birthday parties for her husband and child. During that time, the report also goes on to detail suspicious personal spending, which overlapped with political engagements. Allegations detail the use of city funds to subsidize political fundraisers, and while not formally charging campaign finance violations, it does raise the issue on several occasions. Finally, investigators mentioned the lack of oversight. The city financial team at no point detected the fraudulent charges or confiscated her access to the card. The Crombie Law team says, quote, "The findings of this investigation point not to isolated lapses in judgment, but to a pattern of behavior that violated public trust and the standards expected of an elected official entrusted with taxpayer funds for nearly a decade." In studio, Erin Coogan, Fox 61.
Thank you so much, Erin. And we have much more on Stewart's announcement on the Fox 61 app, including additional details from the investigative report. Also, be sure to stay with us tonight for more reaction from people living in New Britain. We'll have that in our next half hour.
All right, taking a look at the weather now. The rainy days continue, but the good news is we're getting closer to a beautiful weekend. Rachel, we're almost back to seeing the 80s, huh?
Yeah, 70s, 80s. We could even take a run at 90 next week, not this weekend though. And meantime, we've got a mixed bag out there. Some parts of the state are seeing breaks in the overcast and sunshine. Other parts of the state are seeing downpours and even thunderstorms. We are seeing some lightning now associated with this storm over Bethany. These move very slowly and they can drop a lot of rain over a short period of time. Heading into Cheshire now, we can see another one that's bubbled up here over Wallingford. This one strengthening over Newtown and Oxford. When I say strengthening, I just mean rain and thunder though. We're not talking about a threat for severe weather, no damaging winds or hail. And we've got more rain moving back into Simsbury, and that'll be heading into Granby as well. We've seen the most rain in northeastern Connecticut today, so actually a little bit of a break in the action there compared to what we've seen earlier. These will be really hit or miss as we head through the next several hours, but will start to calm down and become less common by the news at 10. Tomorrow is drier, but still cool, and then a big warm up for this weekend and beyond coming up.
Well, thank you, Rachel. Leaders in Waterbury say they are planning for significant investments as they look to move past water issues that plagued the city last year.
Mayor Paul Pernaruski delivered a State of the City address this afternoon. And as Fox 61's Jamel Johnson reports, the mayor looked ahead to several key updates and acknowledged there's still work to do to improve the water system.
In his address, Mayor Paul Pernaruski talked about a significant number of developments coming to the city, including affordable housing and the rehabilitation of Waterbury Union Station. But while looking at the future, he also touched on key issues in the city, like the water problems that plagued the city last winter and the uncertainty of Waterbury Hospital. The 47th mayor of Waterbury is now in his third year of leading the city.
When I stood before you last year, I spoke about momentum and laying a strong foundation. Today, I can say with confidence that we're building on that foundation with discipline, focus, and measurable progress.
With those advances came setbacks that defined Waterbury in 2025, like the city's water crisis, which has led to significant overhauls in water infrastructure.
These were difficult moments for our community and our first responders, and they underscore a hard truth. Much of our water system is aging, in many areas long overdue for reinvestment.
Since the water main break on Thomason Avenue in December, the city has invested nearly $32 million in infrastructure improvements to prevent significant outages in the future.
While these recent events were extremely challenging, they forced us to confront long-standing issues and take decisive action. We're not simply repairing what broke, we are rebuilding and strengthening our water system in a way that will serve Waterbury residents more reliably for decades to come.
Another defining moment for the city came when Waterbury Hospital's parent company, Prospect Holdings, filed for bankruptcy that left the status of the hospital in limbo. The mayor and other officials worked with UConn Health to reach a deal for the hospital.
Clear commitment to preserving services, protecting jobs, and restoring confidence in the hospital for the long term.
Kathleen Deschenes is the CEO for Connecticut Renaissance. She says the hospital's improvements stand out to her.
Many of the people that we serve about 4,000 people a year, are using the hospital systems, emergency room, inpatient and outpatient services. So knowing that there are significant plans to improve those services has a direct impact on our organization and the people that we serve.
The mayor also touched on affordable senior housing as well as an Amazon robotics fulfillment center slated to bring 1,000 full-time jobs to the city. In Waterbury, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
The home where a Waterbury man was allegedly held captive for decades is now in the process of being sold. In documents obtained by Fox 61 today, it shows a real estate purchase and sale agreement has been established between Kimberly Sullivan and a real estate firm. Now, you may remember Sullivan is accused of holding her stepson, referred to as Mr. S, captive for 20 years. Now, that came before a fire last February. Right now, it doesn't appear that the $110,000 deal has closed just yet. A hearing on the agreement is set for Tuesday morning.
And the Justice Department has determined that Yale discriminated against applicants based on race. The announcement follows a years-long investigation into the Yale School of Medicine's admissions policies and practices. The DOJ says Yale's own documents show that, in general, Black and Hispanic applicants were admitted with lower academic qualifications than their white and Asian counterparts. The DOJ says that because of these findings, Yale is in clear violation of federal law. We have reached out to Yale for comment.
We'll expect to see an increased police presence if you head to West Farms Mall this weekend because of a, quote, teen takeover that's been circulating on social media. It's planned at the mall for this Saturday. Farmington police said these type of gatherings are often unpredictable and may present safety concerns because of the potential for large crowds. So in an effort to make sure everyone stays safe, they tell us additional officers will be there to respond to any situations that take place.
President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping are touting their close friendship during the president's trip to Beijing, despite their differences on several global issues.
Rebecca Castor has more on the historic summit and China's offer to help with Iran.
After the Chinese put on a show for President Trump, it was down to business. A 2.5-hour meeting with Xi Jinping discussing trade, U.S. soybeans and beef, fentanyl and oil. On the war in Iran, President Trump tells Fox Xi offered to help.
President Xi would like to see a deal made. He'd like to see the Hormuz Strait open. He said if I could be of any help whatsoever, I would like to help.
That offer comes even though it seems Xi did not get something he wanted out of his sit-down with Trump, a change in U.S. policy on Taiwan.
It was raised. They always raise it on their side. We always make clear our position, and we move on to the other topics. We know where they stand, and I think they know where we stand.
But China is warning the U.S. if Taiwan is not handled properly, there will be clashes and conflicts.
China is going to continue to make their case, but we are firm in our resolve.
For the sake of democracy and the stability of the global economy, Trump must not sell out Taiwan.
Despite the tough talk, Xi and Trump shared warm toasts at the state banquet Thursday, highlighting the importance of the U.S.-China relationship.
This region and the world is a special world with the two of us united and together.
President Trump will have one more meeting with Xi before heading home tomorrow. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox 61.